All right, it's way too late to be making videos, but I got this download and psych, I'm still gonna pull cards. But I do have to focus, and I'm focused on the bag. So if this isn't something that I feel is really being respected or moving forward in any way, then I'm just gonna try to stay flexible. But I did want to share this. So like I got this, and we'll see if we get any cards. Hierophant still wants to hang out at the bottom. I keep coming back every time I get pulled around by certain energies and like the possibility of there being a union. Nine of Swords reverse. And a lot of thoughts going on. Ten of Cups fell on the bottom. Thinking about Ten of Cups. Or regret about something. Okay, it's late. I'm trying to stay on track here. Why it feels like it's such a fight for, there's lots of different things are coming to be about like divine union, divine masculine, divine feminine, these different energies, and like why there's a fight. It feels like, and this is again only from my perspective, but like it's felt like a fight with the world for me to stand on my own and to like be in, like I know that I am doing that, but like to be able to like create revenue and have the help that we need this to be consistent. And I'm gonna take a sip of water. And like with relationships, because the world, I mean, again, this is how it's coming in from my view, is that like there's such this energy. We grew up in a culture of this energy of like the male is a provider, and of course like in a family dynamic, like often the male is the provider, and as a single parent, I'm in this situation, in this almost like added vulnerability, because, and that's just circumstantial, that there's going to be a greater need for that. So, but I feel like because I'm not like all the way established, and I don't even know. I think it's women too. I don't know. And I also want to be, I've healing, part of my healing has been to be more in my feminine, and then now working to embody the divine feminine. But what's come to me, and I've heard other people speak on this, is that our world has such a hard time understanding divine feminine energy and accepting it. Got the Magician. While they're all falling on the floor, I need to scoot up, I guess. And then I got all these downloads that were coming in about like, that's why, or there's all this reasons why, because like I started this healing journey, and then there's been all this stuff about like connecting with the spirit world and my ancestors. And I know that like, I just think it's interesting that like there's this like mysteriousness, and like I get that a lot, that like that women who are like on their own and like doing tarot, and like you have this like mysteriousness about you. But that's okay. So what came to me is that that's part of this journey, is this acceptance that to want to be a divine feminine or divine masculine, or to embody that, or to be a cycle breaker, or to be the kind of to take the name back of like being the black sheep in a sense. If you, I mean, it's however you want to like look, whatever works for you, but like owning, like taking your power back and owning like, yeah, this is the placement that I'm doing, and I'm going to connect with my guides and my higher self, and I'm letting downloads come in. So in a sense, becoming a blueprint, or like you are bringing a new way in. And in another reading I just heard, she spoke that, that there's no elders here. And I don't know, I don't know anything about that, or I don't know if there's truth in that, but I was like, maybe that's why many of us are awakening right now, and on the cycle breakers are like, we're coming there. Maybe that's true. Maybe there's a lot of truth to this whole new earth and people, like becoming the new ancestors in a sense, because a lot of that is what drives me. And it's because I come back to this place of like, I get frustrated and kind of mad in a sense of like, I feel like I get pulled around by these energies of this possibility of a union. And just like anybody, of course, I would love to have like a person in my life. I'd love to have a relationship, and in a bigger way, I'd love to have like support and friendships and like people in my life, like it's like that soul tribe, like whatever, like people to work with, because there's all these things that I could use help with and then I need support with, etc. So it gets frustrating, because then I feel like I'm supposed to, like, the world that we grew up in, men have had so much control and so much there's so much say. And I mean, there's this part of me that is attracted to like old fashioned, or I'm attracted to this like simplistic way of living. And so, but what I'm seeing is that now I'm shifting into really wanting to embody this divine feminine and allow these downloads to come in, and to allow this to kind of work through me. And that's gonna be a continuous like evolution, and continuing to like be this unfolding and this like because I like, if I have a partner, like I want to have a partner that we create intimacy and polarity, and we are like friends, and we don't have like a lot of people, like there's not, how many people do you know that, like I was saying this like it's alive, how many people do you know that are like in a divine union? Like, if you're syncing up with your higher self and God, or especially if you're connected with the spirit world, and that's been an unfolding for me as well, but it's like, it's something that I don't want to have to compromise. Like, it's like, I don't want to have to, the Ace of Wands, I don't want to have to conform those parts of me, because it's the opposite for me. It's like I'm still trying to understand it as it comes, as things happen and as things come through. And a lot of it has to do with like this knowing that I'm walking away from my family, and like doing things on my own. Betrayal. Trying to really figure out how to do everything on my own and stuff. So that has changed me a lot in the last few months, and just the amount of time that I've been on my own. It's like, it does change you. It does shape you. It's like, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm only willing to compromise this amount. Even though the world seems to not like that, it's like there's always this like pushback from the world of like being a single parent on your own, or like, oh, you do tarot and it's like taboo, and there's all these things that it's like aren't worldly accepted or aren't widely accepted by our culture. But that's sort of the point, because it's like, if you're been choosing to embody divine feminine, divine masculine, and you're listening to that inner guidance so much, you're bringing in new, like, that's where downloads come from. It's new information. I mean, new, maybe it's been here before, but I'm driven by that. I'm driven by this like desire to have this like different type of relationship that's like, it doesn't have to have all of these ways that it's conformed by. And like, to me, a man, like, I feel like we don't have models of strong and healthy masculinity. And that's where what we need to create again is like men who can be the elders and who can express healthy ways of power and control, and being the leader in the household, being a masculine leader. And it doesn't have to be all of these like specific ways of being or accepted by the people around you, because I'm already in that place of like, okay, well, I'm not accepted by a lot of people, and I have personally accepted that. But it is strange. It's a strange thing to move through, and to continue to like hold that space for yourself too, of like accepting yourself when you don't have friendships or people around you that are giving you validation. Okay, so let's quickly get to the cards, because like I said, it's late, but I wanted to speak on that because I think when it comes to divine union, if that's something that you also resonate with, it's like it's divine for a reason. So it's like you have to kind of, there's a lot of it I think that we have to let go and let the divine work. And that's something that when I very first was having to let go of control, it was very scary and painful. But then what you start to realize is that, like I said in another video, like you are protected. And then also it's like, there's just less of this fear of the unknown, and there's less of this you're not needing to fill all these roles for all these people, because you accept that you're misunderstood, and because I mean, I've always liked playing the observer. And so if you resonate with this, then you probably do too, but you just have to be willing to not like people please just to be liked, or and it's exhaustive. I know, like we grew up in a culture that became like, or fawning, like that's the other one, like grew up in a culture that we learned how to be really good at that. But you'll just start to see as you ascend and as you start to go inwards, that it's like your energy is gonna start changing, and it's gonna start asking for you to use it in different ways. And the universe, I guess, in a sense, sort of pushes people away. It's like things will happen either in a big way of like tower moments, or they'll just kind of fade out. So people will fade out. So, okay. Yeah, I'm way far gone to be doing tarot right now. Or like, this is late. Okay. You're like way in your head about like a wish fulfillment, and like you're like freaking out about it. So, and you've got 10 of Wands reversed. Like that's like hella anxiety. Just like hopefully this message will help you understand that like the divine's got you. You're fine. Let it go, because again, that's to me what it all comes back to you too. And I'm sorry if I didn't mean for that to come off as rude. I'm just tired. That's the blessing in the biggest possible way, is that once you start to, the moon looks so pretty through the like trees. You develop this relationship with yourself and the divine that's like, that's what happens. Like you're like, well, I'm not willing to compromise. Like after all these people left me and I've had to figure things out on my own, like I'm not willing to compromise now, because I developed this love for myself, and having to go through this and and realize this, because it's harsh. It's harsh and it's scary, but that's why having that connection with the divine that pulls you through all those things, you create such a different view of the world and such a different appreciation of things. And you realize, okay, this is the other thing that I did want to touch on, is that you have to, okay, because this is just something that came to me, especially if you're like struggling with like people around, if you're in a place where you're struggling with the people around you, or you're having to let a lot of people go, or you're having a lot of hard realizations, like, so if you can like, I don't think any of us should see people as objects, but like, if you can see that so many of these people are just meant to be lessons. And then obviously this family, it's taken a long time for me to, like with family, it's crazy. And it does take a long time to like accept that. And this isn't for everyone, it's just if it resonates for you. But like, if you know too that you've had to compromise your well-being and your happiness and your sense of self to be around people, then that helps you to start to let these things go, because you're like, I can't do this anymore. I can't compromise my peace and my well-being because these people don't like me as I am. Like you that more and more and more, you want that, you appreciate yourself, you love yourself, because it is just you. Like you think about that, like when you're around other people, you get mixed up with all these energies, but like when you're not, it's just you. And if you're on this journey, then it's going to be a lot more of just you. So okay, the other thing I wanted to add is that, and this is based off of what you feel and you believe, but like, I know that my belief and my knowing, because I have spoken to the past on, that the spirit world is we pass over, but like we don't leave, and or then your soul goes on to another mission, and maybe it's another planet, or like wherever you have to go. But I mean, it doesn't make it, there obviously is going to be grief and everything, especially if there's people that you like, that you love and that you care about. But like, if it's someone that, I'm not getting anything on this, but I wanted to just say it. If it's someone that you're really close to, or you were really close to in this life, you can still connect with them in the spirit world. Let's just see if anything came to me on like how that. If something comes to me about that and how I've been able to do that, I'll come back and speak on that. But that to me is why things like, if it's prayer for you or meditation or whatever way that you can seek the divine, your guides, will be everything, because then you don't feel so alone. You don't feel that it's going to hit you maybe time to time, but like, it's not the same, because you're like, you realize that you have this connection to the spirit world that we've always had and that we're always meant to have. But fear and these other things were getting in the way, and feeling like you have to always show up a certain way, which isn't true. But then then you do deal with like backlash from people, and the whole being misunderstood. But if you're resonating with this, then you've already been misunderstood. You've already been misunderstood in this life. Holy crap, it's been almost 20 minutes. This is why I don't do videos this late, but like, so much was coming to me, and because this journey is so crazy, and there is so much that's unknown. But then I guess because really, to me, I've always felt this connection to nature, and even that, like the magic of life. And that's what I think of with the spirit world. It's like, it's magical. Well, it doesn't have to be something that's that's scary, or something to be so fearful of. And then you start to want to like, then you want the occult type of stuff, because then you're like, okay, well, now I want to explore this and know more about myself. Like, I really want to do a past life regression. Like, I really want to understand. You have this desire to bring more of that back into the earth, and you don't care so much about what the rest of the world thinks about you, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I don't know, this is just going to be for who it's meant for. And I don't know how much I'm going to do tarot or what's going to be next. But yeah, if this resonates for you, then, know that the journey with the divine and, discovering more about who you are and your gifts is such a gift and such a blessing. And once you start to like let people go more, and what happens is that you become more in tune with yourself. You become more in tune with the spirit. And you just don't feel attached to people in the physical in the same way that you did before. And you can accept that so many people are lessons, and that it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. Cause it's like, there's so much of this that's why it's so beautiful to have a relationship with God, because it's like, he can help give you shelter and protection and guidance, and that feeling of warmth and things like that, that you may not have experienced from your parents, or, that's to me what happens. Because it's like, you think about like because it is crazy still sometimes to be like, okay, well, now I'm not attached to my parents, so who's my family? And it's like, but the creator is like, we're meant to be more closer to him than anybody else. That's also if if you hold that same belief. But you just start to like desire the spirit world more and more, and you just see it as this special magical thing, and that you just accept that the world isn't going to like it sometimes, and they're going to throw stones at you, or get mad about wanting to stand on your own, which when you think about it, it is crazy. But it is what it is, because we didn't create this world. So finding things that you love to do and holding on to that, and like whether it's tarot or dance or music or writing, and like I said, speaking, meditation, and talking to okay, it's definitely time to end this. Yeah, hope that helps somebody.